The following problem asks us to simplify the expression given. And whenever we simplify expressions that have to do with exponents, we always want to do what's inside the parentheses first. So I want to deal with this part right here first, and then I'm going to deal with this part right here. So when I deal with the first parentheses, what I would look to do is recognize that the 9 doesn't really get affected because there's nothing in the numerator, no number in the numerator, there's two variables. For the x's, you've got x to the negative 2 and then x to the fourth, and so the denominator is where our x is going to end up because 4 is bigger than negative 2. And then we subtract. Remember, subtract the bigger from the smaller. 4 minus a negative 2. If you want to write it out, you can to think about it, but 4 minus a negative 2 is like adding those two. And so that gives you 6, so x to the 6 in the denominator. Likewise, 3 is bigger than negative 3, so you're going to do 3 minus a negative 3, which would allow you to get y equals 6. So all that's going to be the negative 1/2 power. And then we're going to do the same thing for the other parentheses. We're going to have 27. X to the fourth is bigger than x to the first. 4 minus 1 is 3, so you end up with x to the third. Y to the negative fifth is much smaller than y to the first, and so 1 minus a negative 5 gives you y to the sixth. And so that's the negative 1/3. Okay, now we got to deal with the exponent that's outside the parentheses. Well, that's a negative exponent, so I need to flip over my fraction and make it positive. So it becomes 9x to the 6th over y to the 6th, and that's raised to the positive 1/2. And then you're going to end up with y to the 6th all over 27x cubed, y to the positive 1/3. So we went from negative exponent to positive exponent, and all we did is flip over the fractions. Now apply the 1/2 power. Remember, 1/2 is like square root, so not square root of 9 is 3. For exponents, it's outside parentheses. The 1/2 is, so you're going to multiply. 6 times 1/2 is x to the third, and 6 times 1/2 is also y to the third for y. So those turn out to be the same exponent. And then you're going to multiply 6 times 1/3 for the y to the 6th, so that's going to give you y to the second. And then the 1/3 is like cube root, and the cube root of 27 is 3, because 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. And then 3 times 1/3 just gives you x. Now we have to simplify. The first thing we can notice is I got a 3 on the numerator and a 3 in the denominator, so that's good. We have an x in the numerator and x in the denominator. This is x to the first. The bigger exponent is a 3, so you're going to end up with x to the third minus 1, which gives you x to the second. 3 x's in the numerator, 2 in the bottom, or 1 in the bottom. You cancel out, you have 2 left. For the y's, 3 y's in the denominator, 2 in the top, so you're going to subtract. 3 minus 2 is just y to the first, or y. So the answer to this question is x squared over y. That's a simplified version of that expression.